One big one being the ESPN deal with WWE. This is something that WWE has always wanted to infiltrate ESPN, that ESPN ecosystem of content between Sports Center and everything else that they're doing. They've always wanted to be a part of that. Now they are. Um, you grew up watching wrestling, almost a decade before me. Did you see them going to ESPN? Like, this has always been something that's been discussed, right? Like how either WWE will never be on ESPN because it's not a real sport. I'm using hand quotes here when I say that. Or it's been ESPN doesn't want them. Or it's been this is the only thing that WWE has ever wanted was to be on ESPN. It was interesting seeing the conversation around this. But what do you make of it?
I find it fascinating. First of all, I thought they would just outright buy WWE before
You
this would
thought
happen.
what, like
But just
Disney would purchase
yeah,
them?
yeah, that was kind of before this thing happened. But having said that, the exposure they're going to get is going to be insurmountable.
I don't
Will it
know. I'm
work?
curious about that.
Will it be accepted on that platform? That's the question, I think.
I spoke to
Mm,
someone at I'm sorry, at WWE, and they called. I got a call when this was happening. They didn't realize I was on break, and it doesn't matter to them. But they just wanted to,
mhm.
talk to me about it. And the conversation I was having was, uh, do you guys think this is going to create a boom of sorts, right? Because it's a very different market from being on a Peacock or being on your own WWE network or being on terrestrial TV, linear television. This is very different because the ESPN ecosystem consists of, I mean, it's your exact demo. You're not in an ecosystem where you have wrestling and then you have The Office. You are in a very specific ecosystem with the exact demo that you're catering your product to, and that's men 18 to 42. Will this change anything? I don't know. I don't know what the answer there is because when you look at TV rights and pay-per-view buys, and you're looking at PLEs versus PPVs, and we're going to see this with AEW as well, because we're going to talk about this deal that got announced with Max, that got finalized, I should say. The deal was announced prior, but it got finalized this week. I don't know if this means they're going to garner a larger PLE audience. I think what it is more than anything else is that they're tapping into a great ad revenue center here with ESPN because it's advertisers that are advertising for their exact demo. You don't have ad buyers like, a lot of. I'm gonna give you a little peek behind the fourth wall. It doesn't matter how great your content is. It doesn't matter how great of a radio personality you are, or a great a TV show, a drama, a comedy, a sports-based product. It comes down to your sales team being able to sell ads and how many ads they could sell versus how much they're paying you. WWE on Fox was a success. Forget about, I know a lot of people imagined they'd get 4 to 5 million people a week on Fox. That's going based on my ECW signs. See, I said something bad about WWE here, and the signs are falling. They've infiltrated this studio here, the Wrestling Observer East Studios here in New York. I don't know, and really, it's going to come down to the sales team. And actually, ESPN, they are totally equipped for this. So, is it going to be a success? Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a great partnership, and they're going to talk about this like it's the greatest thing ever. Very interesting stuff here. I think this is a positive for WWE. I don't know what this means for ESPN. We're going to see with WrestlePalooza. Talk about ECW. Still, this brand, the brand that will never die in professional wrestling. You had AEW at the 2300 Arena. That was a ECW Love Fest, obviously. You have WWE running that building. You have WrestlePalooza back. Paul Heyman's all over TV. Rob Van Dam's having babies. Taz got honored. A lot of ECW still happening here. But this is a very interesting time for pro wrestling. I think the WWE deal is very interesting. A lot of the other conversation here is the international rights and international access and how that's going to go for them. They are not These stadium shows are going to become more and more. The international shows are going to become more and more. This is a global product. This is not Vince McMahon's WWE anymore. And that was another conversation I had over the break. Because we were talking about this direct competition, counter programming. Everything AEW is doing, all the PLEs are being counter programmed. Which, listen, to the fans, it's terrible. Nobody should be rooting for this. If you're a pro wrestling fan, if you're a WWE fan, it doesn't matter. If you're an AEW fan and exclusively that, it doesn't matter to you because you're the 180,000 people that are going to order that pay-per-view, or 120, whatever that number is, right? Let's say it's 100,000 diehards. They're going to order that anyway. It's not about you. It's about allowing somebody to discover the content, discoverability. And that's harder when you have a competing product going up against you that's larger and bigger and more established than you. And listen, it's not about hurting the pay-per-view. It's about hurting the next TV rights deal that comes up. Diminished return. If you counter-program everything they're doing and you're taking about, 10 points off the top or 20% of the viewership there off the top, that's a detrimental takeaway from their viewership. It's not going to matter to the fans. They're still going to talk about it, that 20,000, 30,000, but you want to see year-over-year growth. You want to see some sort of stability. You don't want to see a decline. And that's what WWE is manufacturing here if you take away the audience. Now, there is the other argument that the last time they attempted this with Saturday Night's Main Event and that NXT show, it was a detriment to WWE. Around the same time that ESPN conversation was happening, and the PLEs are no longer on Peacock, and Saturday Night's Main Event is no longer on NBC because that number was very low. Was it wrestling fatigue? Would it have been low anyway due to other competition? It's possible. But me as a fan, after watching for 4 hours, do I really want to turn on another show and watch another show for 3 hours or 2.5? I don't know. I don't know because I'm a very different demo as a 41-year-old. I don't have it in me anymore. I don't have. It's fatigue. I don't think a lot of people have it, but some will, and they'll be happy and they'll scream about how okay this is because it doesn't matter. We're going into a very interesting time here. We're going into a very interesting WWE. This is not the same WWE. I mean, even from the beginning of the summer to now, we've seen changes here. And AEW had a great summer. I mean, the TV was good. I enjoyed the pay-per-views. All In was a great pay-per-view. Forbidden Door was a blast. Even with the injuries, I mean, everybody came out and put on a tremendous show. And now they're AEW's going into a season where Will Ospreay's gone. He's hurt. Swerve is hurt. Kenny Omega's hurt. And now they got to create, new upcoming wrestlers that people are interested in.